Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Masked Rider X Shinkocchou Seihou from S.H Figuarts. Just got this guy in today. Honestly, I can't wait for them to finish the rest of the Showa Riders. I'm really glad that they revealed that they're finally going to do a super one. I kind of hope that his tassels, were actually like a cloth piece, but that's fine. They're plastic. Hopefully they just don't fall off, like they're actually molded into the glove. But yeah. So I'm really excited to see what this guy has to offer. Let's get him out of the brown shipper box and open him up. And here he is out of the shipper box. On the front you have a nice picture of Kamen Rider X here. And then on the side you have his name. On the back you got a couple of poses you can get him into. A couple of warning labels. The Shinkocchou Seihou or Shinkocchou Seihou label. The Toei sticker up there. A couple of warnings. But yeah, let's open them up. These boxes are all pretty much the same. Nothing crazy. His instructions, which I never look at, which I probably should. And then here he is in the little plastic shell. Just first glance, I think he looks really, really good. I'd end up buying two of these guys just in case, something weird happens with one. But also because I don't know if Tamashii Nations is going to reissue them. So the riders I like the designs of the most, I try to get dupes. Here he is out of his plastic. He looks great. I did notice that his little handle popped off. It's like right here in his belt there's supposed to be this little red handle that you pull out and that turns into his whip. That's definitely gonna go flying or get lost by the carpet, so make sure you don't lose it. Let me see if I can put it back in here. Okay, it's kind of in there. In a way I kind of wish they just, I don't know, had like a tab-in system where instead of having like a giant block of red plastic, but there we go. There he is with his handle inside his belt and out of his box. I think he looks really nice. Another cool thing is that I love that they've started doing these cloth scarves. So now you can actually pose them whichever way you want. And they still kind of swivel around the neck. The design is really nice on here. It's really nicely printed. His scarf goes like that. So if you just want to have it in a neutral pose, so it'd be in the front of his body like that. Coming up close to see his eyes. Does have the really nice compound eyes. Let's see if it'll focus. Oh, and there goes his handle once again. I heard it. And he's got the nice V on his forehead. Back he has that red, and the side is really well sculpted. No seam lines that like seem weird or anything, which is really nice. Then up close he has a little bit of shading kind of over the pieces that make up the X on the front, and this is actually on a ball peg, I believe, so it kind of shifts around whichever way you need it to, like for his articulation. The red paint is applied nicely, nothing crazy. He's got the zipper on the back, so you know that it's a guy in a suit. And his belt is tied back here. Got some kind of scuffage right here on his boot, but maybe we can get that off with like a magic eraser or something, and a little bit on his knee. The boots are really nice. And then the bottoms are, he's got his little treads down there. And then the gloves are just regular Sentai gloves, with the 3 lines on the front. Yeah, okay. Let's get into his articulation. So for his articulation, head looks up about that much. Looks down about that much, which is really nice. Of course, his scarf can go all the way around if you want it to. You can kind of see right there where you have that bendy wire piece. But for the most part, it's pretty not noticeable. You can pose that however you want, but we're gonna pose it out of the way. Arms go up this much, which is really good. He does have a bicep swivel, and he does have a butterfly joint. But because of this hard plastic X on his chest, you're not gonna get crazy range out of that, but you can still put his arms over his chest. And get him into any kind of fighting poses you want, which is great. And then for the chest, he has two separate pieces, and this part again is on a ball joint, which you can't really see, but yeah, you can't really see it. You can kind of see it under there. See, it's like right there underneath. But he goes back this much with both joints together. You see he has a little red. This part is sculpted too. And then forward, he goes forward this much, which is really nice. Back is a little bit of a gap, but it's not anything crazy. Yeah, I really like how this was done. I kind of wish this was a soft plastic, to be honest, so it could kind of get out of the way for his arms to really come across his chest, but I guess they had their reasons for making it hard. This belt skirt piece is kind of soft. It is a floating belt, so that means his legs can get out about that far. Kick up about that much, but when you kick up, if you don't have these X pieces out of the way, like if you put it, tuck it behind the belt and then you try to kick up, it's not gonna work. You have to make sure that these pieces are kind of out of the way, and then you can kind of get them to kick a little bit further. Not a lot further, but I guess it's good enough. Double knee. I hate these knees. I don't know why they did that. I don't know. They've done good knees in the past, so I don't know why they treat these riders like this. Ichigo and Nigo are like this as well, where they have these like weird kneecap things. He does have a thigh swivel, and then no boot swivel at the boot. He goes down about that much, up just a little bit, not even a lot, and then he does have decent ankle rocker. So if you were to really kind of splay him out, let's see. I know his feet aren't all the way touching the ground, but the one foot is, so at least you can get him to stand about that wide. But yeah, his leg articulation isn't crazy, but I mean, at least he can do a rider kick, so I guess that's good enough. All right, let's get him out of the way and then take a look at some of the stuff that he comes with. Okay, so for his accessories, and because they're so small and he has a bunch of these little handle pieces, I'm gonna show it to you guys like this. So he has a longer handle piece, and then I can compare it to the one that comes on his belt, which is this really short nub. And then you have a longer one. And this one actually has a hole in it, and that is for this piece. So you can plug it into this pole. And then there's another end of it. It's got like this comb tooth type look to it. So now you have his whip and like the long kind of pole staff accessory. Forgive me as I do not know the name of this weapon. And then you have a shorter version of the stick or the pole slash whip. And then you get two separate pieces for that. And this one has two of the handles that look the same on each end. And then you get two more handle pieces that are about the same length. And then you get an even smaller version, but this one is a sword. So like now his whip can turn into a sword. So that's how that looks when it's all together. It's really nice. Glad they gave us all these options, which makes me sad that, you know, they made Amazon and gave him literally nothing. I was like, okay. Hopefully they reissue him. They give him all his stuff. And then here we go. Here's his whip. Or I guess if you want, it could be a jump rope, but it's rolled up nicely. It is not articulated in any sense, so you can just do whatever you want with it. I kind of wish there was like a bendy wire aspect, but I guess this is fine too. He'll hold on to it. No big deal. And then for hands, he has a set of gripping hands. set of splayed open hands, and all these are really sculpted nicely. They capture the glove, which I'm like, okay, if you do all this for Kamen Rider, why can't you give the Dragon Ball Z characters who have gloves, you know, the same kind of love and attention? He has like a karate chop or like just posed hand. Kind of looks like, you know, if he's flying or something. Hand, flying kick. He has two of these Goku instant transmission hands. Then he has a looser grip hand. And then he has a grip hand that's at a bit of an angle. And all of these, you know, can hold all of his little whip and staff accessories. So he comes with a nice slew of stuff. The only thing he doesn't come with is a stand, but at this point, you know, I don't expect him to come with it unless it's like an anniversary edition. But yeah, let's get into some size comparison. Oh, and I didn't go over it, but for those of you who weren't aware, he does have double jointed elbows and wrists that are on, if I can pull it off, they're stuck, a ball hinge. Sorry that I missed that piece, but it's kind of par for the course by now for S.H Figuarts articulation. Oh, and another thing that I missed that I had no clue, he's got glove swivel. That is super cool. Love that. I actually have to check and see if my other Showa riders have glove swivel. That's pretty sick. And for our first size comparison, we have him compared to the new and the old riders. So one of his buddies, Amazon, and then Kamen Rider Gaim here. This is also the Shinkocchou Seihou version that just released. Amazon is shorter than him, so I guess my thoughts was right. It's like Amazon is the shortest Showa rider. I'll have to compare them all when I get all 10 to see if that's truly the case. But yeah, Gaim is about the same height. I think it's just his helmet making him look like he's taller with this gold bit up here. I think they look good together. You can pose them all on your shelf and have a little Heisei Generations type crossover. And then here he is next to a Figma Deadpool and then the CT Toys Miles Morales. These all scale really nice together. They're all in the same size range. Deadpool is like a smidge taller than he is. But I still think that they'd work pretty well together. So if you want to pose and mix lines with Figma, I think that'll work. And then here he is compared to a standard Marvel Legends 6-inch figure and then a Lightning Collection figure. The Lightning Collection figure is a little bit shorter than the normal Marvel Legends. Well, I guess build-wise, too, he's a little bit more slimmed down. You can kind of fudge it. Kamen Rider X is going to be very small compared to these two, but I think he could probably make it. He's a little bit taller. So for final thoughts, I really like this guy. I think he was well worth the, what was it, $85, $90 I spent for him. If you guys are looking to pick him up, he was a premium Bandai exclusive, so you'll have to search on the aftermarket for him. But if you're interested in completing your collection with the newer versions of the old rider figures, then I definitely recommend you hunt them down, add them to your collection. The only gripe I have, again, is with those ugly knees. I wish they would move away from that. But if that's the way it's got to be, it's the way it's got to be. He still gets his articulation. Again, I wish the chest piece was a soft rubber piece, but other than that, he comes with everything he needs to do all the things a rider can. So yeah, I mean, effect pieces would be super cool to, you know, get with these guys, but at this point, I'm just glad that we get, you know, an actual rope for the weapons. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.